Let's play a game. I'll hold 2 static ads on the screen that we made for the same brand, and you'll have 10 seconds to guess which is the winner and which is the loser. And once the 10 seconds is up, I'll reveal the winner and explain why I think it's the winner. My name is Camila, I'm from Epic Ads Lab, where we help DTC brands scale from 7 to 9 figures with performance-driven ad creatives. And in this video, I'm going to show you how we build static ads for brands that actually scale, not just look fancy. Okay, so here are the first 2 ads, ad A and ad B. Clock starts now. Which one is the winner and which one is the loser? These are both for a boxed wine brand, a luxury boxed wine brand. This is the loser and this one is the winner. Comment down below if you got it right. Now, this ad got a whopping 13.35 ROAS, which is absolutely crazy for an ad. Typically, when I see ads that are very high ROAS, it usually means that they are middle to bottom of the funnel ads. They are scooping up customers that have seen other ads but decided to convert when they saw the image. Now, the click to add to cart ratio on this ad was like 84%. So let's actually break down what made this ad really good. So not a lot of stuff went into it except for 2 things. One, we went for this headline, which was targeting a very specific desire that we found in our research that people wanted. And that desire was wine that doesn't make me hate myself. So what we find in the US is that a lot of wine contains sugars and sulfites. And so that's why we went for the sugar angle. End sugar cravings for good. This wine has actually 0 grams of sugar. So it's a huge selling point that we're getting right at the beginning. In terms of the actual visuals, super simple. We went for a very aesthetic looking shot of the wine. This is a premium luxury type of wine that comes in a box, which is very interesting. Whilst most people, they kind of just take a regular stock photo of the wine with a nice background, a typical headline, we went for a few extra little things that you will notice here and here and here, which are the lemony type of accents. Now, the reason we did that is because it creates a flavor profile that is associated with the wine. And so when you look at a box of wine and then you look at a bunch of fruit and then you read end sugar cravings for good, you're thinking to yourself a lot of different things. For example, 1, box wine, I didn't think it was going to be luxurious. 2, didn't know you can have wine without sugar. And 3, this is probably going to be fitting from our profile. And what we found as well is that when anybody buys wine online, they look for flavor profiles that are citrusy, which is why we didn't go for anything that was kind of wood related or anything that was any other tones. So that was the thinking behind this ad. Client spent 2.5K and made $34,000 back, which is unreal. Typically, ads like these are for the bottom of the funnel, meaning that they have a very high frequency above 2, but you're not actually able to scale them because ROAS drops, and when you scale an ad, more cold traffic sees the creative. However, this one has a 2.41 frequency, and we were actually able to scale this creative because of how powerfully it converted for people. Now, I do want to mention as to why this one didn't do so well. And the main reason that I believe is that we say wine you can feel good about. But the word good is what I call a vague term. It's not very specific to our customer, ICP, or avatar. If we were to say something like wine that you don't feel regretful for, or you can say wine you can drink without the guilt, that would be a lot better. Now, we have a typical comparison ad, and you're probably wondering like, why does this not work if it's a comparison us versus them ad? Is that these ads are very bottom of the funnel, and these ads are very much for the stage of awareness where they know about different solutions. They know about typical wine and boxed wine. The problem is that this product is very different to regular wine. It's a boxed wine. So we shouldn't be comparing boxed wine to other wines. We should be comparing this boxed wine to other boxed wines to really draw the comparison. So why this one is better. Also, some things is probably that we have a bit too many on the negative side and less on the positive side, which can make people go, oh, this is an obvious comparison. Now, that being said, this ad did convert and it did work well in the funnel, but now we know exactly how to improve it. So let's find out who our next winner is. Now, here are the next 2 ads, which are for a product called the Loft Blanket. 10 seconds on the clock, 2 different types of static ad creative concepts, the headline, title, and provocative image, and the other one being a classic social proof type of ad. The winner is number A, and this one is the loser. So let's figure out why this one is the winner. So this ad got a 2.46 ROAS and a click-through rate of 2.88%, which is actually pretty good. And it got a total of around $5,000 in ad spend, compared to the other ad which got only $75 in ad spend and 1.77 ROAS. So why did this one convert well? So you can see a lot of the attention goes into this strong headline. And the goal with this ad creative is to make it a scalable ad, meaning that it can attract customers who aren't as aware as people who know about blanket. The first most important part of this ad is the image. The image is a blanket with glow underneath it. Now, this is supposed to stop the scroll and it's supposed to make you go, what on earth is that? And then you read, this is afterglow protection, not just a waterproof blanket. Now, if you guys don't know what this product is, you know, when couples are having fun time and they don't want to do a cleanup, and that's where the blanket comes in. Let's keep this PG. And so afterglow protection here goes really well with the actual image. And so what we have is called headline to image coherence. And so you go, cool, afterglow makes sense. What is it? Let me have a look at it. And then they click and then it goes through the funnel of our product. And so this one actually takes people to a landing page and a listicle to kind of educate prospects on the product, as opposed to going directly to a checkout page. Now, if you're new to e-commerce, you should know that if you want to target people who are less and less aware, so who are colder and colder customers, so that you can bring new customers to your business, you're going to have to match your ads to some kind of landing page or some kind of listicle or advertorial to really attract those new customers who are not going to be ready to buy immediately. So this one was a very good ad that brought in a lot of traffic, but why did the other ad not convert? Now, you probably have seen ad creative types like these, which are the very classic social proof ads where you take reviews, testimonials, etc., and you show them on the screen. Now, these are very good for the bottom of the funnel. Anybody who may have seen some of the ads and go, you know what, this is going to convince me. However, it's not the best for getting brand new customers, because a lot of them might not even know what this is. You know, tense up during intimacy, try this first. But like a blanket, you know, what's happening here? Now, if we take this to a landing page and a listicle, sure, it can work, but it's not going to be as optimal as something that's going to stop the scroll and create some curiosity for somebody. This doesn't create curiosity. This is kind of a conversion mechanism for an ad creative. And in terms of us getting new customers, it doesn't work. And that's why this ad didn't convert and didn't scale like we wanted it to. But the next two ads that I'm going to show you hopefully will inspire you to think outside the box as to how you can acquire more customers. Which one do you think is the winner? 10 seconds on the clock. They are both for the same testosterone and fat burn product. Really think about which one is going to be the one that is going to get the spend, is going to get us to scale. The winner was indeed B. Now, you might be thinking, what? This should be a type of creative that is going to scale. I'll get into it in a second. Let's go over as to why this was a winner. Now, this creative started getting purchases almost immediately after launching, and that's because of two main things. We have a very strong visual, and that is a poster in the gym. You can clearly tell it's a gym because of the weight section here and here. You know, when you go to the gym, you probably have seen posters like these. So the ad itself looks natural. It doesn't look like it's something that's just calling like straight in your face, which draws some curiosity because you don't see ads like these a lot. This was actually a concept that I just came up with on the spot. I was like, you know what? I've seen ads like these that I'm going to put in the screen, which are calling people out, but I don't want to just run that on an account that's about testosterone and fat burn and attracting men who are looking to get jacked. I'm going to put this in a gym pillar because that's where we would ideally see something like this in real life. And you can see this is what we call medium form copy. It's not just a headline and a subheadline. It's actual text they're supposed to read. We want 5 married men who refuse to feel like a lump after work and need their wife to call the plumber. So this right here is a situation call out. We are targeting a specific avatar of men who are feeling incapable, can't be a good provider for their family. And the reason we went for this guy is because that person is probably just like suffering from low testosterone. That first instance and that first phrase that we see in this medium form copy needs to win the customer over by creating a sense that you understand what they're going through. What you want is someone to look at that and nod and say, yeah, I feel this way. Where you can find these are Reddit forums, diving deep into reviews, testimonials. You get like an actual experience that somebody went through, and 9 times out of 10, if somebody has gone through that experience, there are many other people that have too. And then after this one, we go into, they will test the steel and fire stack, which has turned couch potatoes into handymen that their wives are proud of. Do you want to be one of them? Ultimately, we are selling the desire of you becoming the man who is able to have the energy throughout the day so that when they get home and they have to change a light bulb or do the plumbing, they're able to do it because they have energy and motivation, which they will get from using this product. We created a bridge, which is where they are now versus where they want to be. So feeling like a lump is where they are now. Couch potato into handyman is where they want to be. And do you want to be one of them? They click it, they go to landing page, they get sold on the product, and they will go with that mindset of this product right here is going to close the gap, make it smaller, and help me become who I want to be. And that's why this ad converted immediately after launching, which is pretty cool. But now let's go into the reasons as to why the other one didn't convert, even though we went through a similar approach. Here we were testing what is called long form copy in an ad, and we were going for your clean diet spikes cortisol, which is essentially a huge headline that's going to go, wait, what? Chicken and broccoli? What do you mean? This is the anabolic diet. Why is this spiking my cortisol? And then how it's going to affect you? And what we found is that a lot of guys that are trying to get jacked or like in their 40s and, you know, eating clean like this so that they maintain a good shape, find themselves with a lot of high cortisol, which affects the testosterone production and means they don't have the energy and drive. However, what we realized after launching this ad is that there is a disconnect between this right here and cortisol. There's no bridge between this is where you are at, which is you're eating your chicken and your vegetables and everything, and cortisol, right? And also, we don't know why this is supposed to be bad for us. The copy itself is supposed to bridge that together. The problem is that we found that this ad didn't do well because we just jumped the gun a little bit. Instead, we should have done something like this diet reduces your testosterone, or stop eating this to improve your testosterone. Something where they go, okay, cool, I'm actually doing this for a reason, and that reason is not the right way to do it, as opposed to this is spiking my cortisol. How is that going to connect to what I want to be and where I want to go? So you can see that just trying out two different types of creatives, you're able to see the approach as to what we do when it comes to our static ads. So this is how we think about static ads inside Epic Ads Lab, our agency. And as we saw, some of these ads generated thousands of dollars for our clients in revenue. And through all the static ads we have made for our clients, we've generated multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars in revenue. Now, if you're a brand, I have some news for you. We don't just do static ads, we also do AI ad creative, UGC. And if you're serious about scaling, you're going to want to scan this QR code right here or click the second link down below so that you can work with us to help you build creatives so that you can scale, because you should know by now that the biggest lever for scaling is your ad creatives. However, if you're not ready to invest in an agency and you want to learn exactly our SOPs, get our templates, and learn how we do it for brands, you can click the first link down below, which will take you to my school community where I have all of the SOPs and internal trainings in there so you can do it yourself. Hopefully I'll see you there. Otherwise, if you want to know exactly how to make AI UGC videos, you're going to want to click this video right here, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.